this weekend, last weekend's results. Izzy lost. What's your thoughts on that? I caught it, bro. I caught it. I caught it. I literally said he was gonna lose to Strickland, and that's the fault of Izzy's career. He's done. He's done. He's not getting that title back. He literally got embarrassed by Strickland. What do you think? What makes you think that Duplessis wasn't gonna embarrass him? He's fighting Duplessis next. If he doesn't fight Duplessis next, then who knows? Nah, I don't think Paulo Costa can smash him. Hamza probably will. He'll probably fucking wrestle fuck him the whole entire fight. Cause that's what Hamza
Does
likes.
anybody else say free trial, or so you need to start your free trial? Okay, you do. Okay, all right. So let me see if I can get y'all going.
Oh yeah, he tapped out first round.
Yes.
My cousin lost $200 off of that. And what's it called? Grasso is fighting Shevchenko for the, and they're unveiling a new title for that. Yeah. Kevin Holland's fighting in the card. Jack Della Maddalena. Raul Rojas Jr. is fighting too. Daniel. Fernando Padilla. Oh, these are all Mexican fighters. They do got a Russian fighting on the card. Mexican versus Brazilian. An Israeli versus a American. Yeah, that should be a pretty good fight. Fitzev versus Gamrot. Rafael Fitzev versus Gamrot. Bryce Mitchell versus Danny Iggs. Tim Means versus Andre Forjalio. Brian Battle versus AJ Fletcher. Dan Argueta over there. Ricardo Ramos versus Charles Jordan. Those are all fight nights, and then comes the big. Oh no, there's another fight. Edson Barbosa versus Yusuf. And then after that, it's Makachev versus Oliveira. 2. Paulo Costa versus Hamza. And Mayov versus Aliskerov. Johnny Walker is definitely smashing him. No, I'm just kidding. He's getting smashed. What? Oh, shit, bro. Who? Oh, shit. Tim Elliott. Oh, but that's in Abu Dhabi. On Fight Island. Curtis Blaze is fighting the week after that. Stipe is getting smashed. Jessica Andrade is smashing Mackenzie Dern. Derek Brunson's getting smashed. Who? Stipe is getting smashed though. Brendan Allen versus Paul Craig. That's the last. I think that's the last fight of the year. You only got it up to November 18th. That's it. What happened? Huh? Duh. That's what give you hope.
All right, Nia, you should be good to go.
She understands no
All right,
chance.
everybody else is in, right? All right, good deal. All right, so I told you last week that we were going to go ahead and get started in the program, and so I'm just going to show you guys a couple of things and kind of get you familiar with the program, and then we're going to start creating some stuff. So the first thing I want you to do is when you open up Illustrator, it'll look something similar to mine. Obviously, I have some projects at the bottom. So yours will look a little bit different. You'll start to add projects at the bottom. So when we log in, more than likely, anything that we do in this classroom is going to be done in a letter format, okay? And that's one of your choices up here. You can create it in whatever you want, but for our purposes, that's more than likely what it's going to be done in. So if you'll do me a favor and go ahead and click letter, and that's going to create a new file for you. So if you click letter, this is what you should come up with, okay? Does anybody have any idea what that blank piece of paper there would be called? Layout. Anybody else? A letter. Yeah, that's pretty obvious, right? Well, in Illustrator, it's called artboard. Okay, because you are illustrators, therefore, it's called an artboard. So that's what this is called. This side over here is called our tools panel on the left. This is called our properties panel, okay? That's where all of the magic's going to happen, how you can change colors, change fonts, and all that sort of thing. So we are going to get started with something very, very simple today, and then you're going to learn how to, add more stuff and that sort of thing. So the first thing that I want you to do is over here. Sorry that mouse is not very, very vivid. But over here on the left-hand side on your tools panel, I want you to click the rectangle tool. Okay? And when you click the rectangle tool and you come over on your artboard and you draw and drag, you're going to draw a rectangle. Okay? I don't care what size it is. It doesn't matter. It can go the other direction. It does not matter. I just want you to draw a rectangle somewhere on your artboard. Okay? And so what's going to happen, guys, is when you start to click somewhere on here, it's going to pop up a little dialog box, and it's going to want you to draw another one. Okay? Well, we don't want to do that. So what I want you to do, and I want you to get used to this. So I'm going to say go home a lot in here, okay? I'm going to say go home. When I say go home, I do not mean this home button up here, okay? Don't click that when I say, I know that seems counterproductive, but don't click the home button when I say go home. When I say go home in here, I mean this button right here, this very top little selection tool. Okay, that is what my home, that's what I consider my home, because when you click that selection tool up there in your tools panel, that basically just allows you now to select and move your, whatever you've got on your artboard around it, okay? If you don't click that button, you're gonna start adding more stuff. It's just easier to go to that selection tool and add that. So, what I also like about Illustrator is we were over in the rectangle tool section, okay? If you long press or hold down on that rectangle tool, you're going to see that it opens up, I like to call them drawers. It just opens up different options within that tool, okay? And I want you to click on the star tool.
Hold on, how do you get there?
And I want you to draw a star anywhere on your artboard. It can be as small as
Yo, Frankie,
you want.
how'd you do it?
as big as you want.
Because it's not letting
Doesn't
me.
matter. Okay, you can put them on
I'm
the
clicking on it and
corners.
it's not letting me.
You can put them on the. All right,
Oh,
so
right
I
click,
just
there you
need
go.
to draw a rectangle. So, all right, so go to your rectangle.
Right click.
There. And then now just draw. There you
I
go.
did too.
Okay, so now remember, hold down on this, hold down on the rectangle tool, and you're going to now be able to draw a star. Okay, again, I don't care what size, what color, none of the above. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to add color to things in Illustrator. Okay, but the ones I want to kind of focus on today are, and you can't see this. Let me see if I can move this up a little. There. Okay, well, you can't see it on mine because this button is here and I can't hide it. But right here on your screen, there is a white box, and then there's a black box behind it that has like an opening. It's like it's hollow, okay? The first white box is called a color picker. And basically, if you double click on that white box, it is going to allow you to pick some colors.
Mm.
So I apologize for you not being able to see it, but if you double click, your color picker comes up. So currently, you should have your star selected. And the way we select our star, remember, is go back home. Not really home, but the home, the arrow. Select your star, double click on the color picker, and just pick a color. And that's going to fill in your star. Okay? I just picked the color that was there, but you can move that slider and you can pick whatever you want. Now I'm going to have to change this star because for some reason that looks like a Florida State color and I can't have that on my board. So we're going to go and change that to blue. No, Florida who? No. So I've changed my color, my star. Okay. And then what we're going to do next is every single shape that you make or text that you write has what they call a stroke. And the stroke is just basically the outline of something. Okay? So on this star right now, it has a black outline. Okay? It's tiny. You can't see it because it's set to only 1 point. All right? But if I want to increase the stroke on that star or the rectangle or whatever it is, okay? I can, oh, you know what? Do me a favor. I'm looking at y'all's and y'all's is a little bit different than mine and I want our interface to be the same. So before we increase that stroke, I want you to go to Window, up here in the very top, Window. Is everybody there? Go to Window. Jacqueline, can you go to Window up at the top? There you go. And then I want you to click on Workspace and change it to Essentials Classic. Then ours will all be the same. That's how I want us to work. Mine's already on it, but if you'll do that, that'll make it much more the same. Okay? So I've clicked on my star, and I want to change the outline color. And I want to make it a lot thicker than what it is right now. Okay? So I'm going to come up. This, again, is my color. The blue is my color. The black with the hollow side is the outline or the stroke. Okay? So I want you to drop down with that stroke and change the color of your outline. I don't care what color it is. This is yours. You're going to pick it. So I'm going to come up here to my stroke. I'm going to change it orange. You still can't really see it, but I'm going to increase the stroke weight. And I'm just going to bump it up a couple of things to now my stroke.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't care. You can do it however much you want. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Yo serían sueño father.
So you have to just increase this however. Okay.
Every up shot. Smoking.
Okay. Yes. The stroke right here. This is the stroke. So then you just pick whatever color you want, and then you to make it more seen, you just up this. You can go as high as you want. Why is yours not showing up? I don't know. Here. Here. Select this. Now do it. Now change your color. And then increase it however much you want. There you go. Okay? Yes. Okay. Does anybody else need help creating a star?
You heard that?
All right, good job. So everybody looks pretty good. So now I want you to change the color of your rectangle as well. So remember, in order to change the color of anything that you're doing, you have to select it first. Okay? So make sure you go to your selection tool, select your rectangle, and then change the color of your rectangle.
Oh.
Yeah, the inside, and you can also change the stroke if you want to as well.
There you go.
All right, so I want to show you something really quickly. So, once you have your rectangle color, whatever color, and guys, we're not making a masterpiece today. Honestly, we're just trying to get used to the shape. So don't feel like this is all it can do. This is very, very minimal. We're going to get to